These are the salt ponds in the San Francisco Bay. When you fly into San Francisco Airport or San Jose Airport, you may see a lot of interesting colors, and this is the explanation. The seawater is let in and eventually it evaporates and the salt is harvested, and in various stages of water evaporation, microbes that live or can survive in salty water get a different color. Eventually, when it's the most salty, the last stage of evaporation, it's usually reddish, something like this. And originally this company that harvests salt started in the middle of 19th century, around the time of gold rush. And the salt was obviously needed for human consumption, but also it was used when Comstock lode was discovered in Nevada, and the miners used salt in the mining, silver mining process. These salt ponds behind me are pretty huge, even though nowadays they have only about 10% of what it used to be at the peak of their operations a long time ago. A lot of those ponds were or have been converted back into marshes, and a national, I think, or state refuge, nature refuge, was created in the original areas. These narrow gauge tracks go around each pond, and I guess when they harvest the salt, that's how they transport salt to the central location, which is somewhere ahead of us, but due to low visibility I don't think we can see anything. I will have to get closer. And you can see whitish, and it's salt, but also there is clay on the bottom, which is one of the reasons why they started producing salt here a long time ago. So when they started all this more than 150 years ago, those all were marshes, and it was all converted into salt producing business, and it was the first solar company, so to speak, in what is now Bay Area. Nowadays we have another famous solar company here. 5 miles down the road this direction is Tesla. They make not only electric cars but also solar panels, and they install them not under, probably not under the name Tesla. I forgot the name of the company, but it's basically the same company. Elon Musk owns and manages most of it. So, looking west, visibility is low, and I think I will continue around here. Let's have a look at this, and then we will continue. And this is all salt. I can see a lot of salt deposit here, and here is brine, salt brine. It must be very, very salty. I would guess at least over 25% salt if in the water. And here is how they pumped, or actually gravity took care of it, how they transferred water from one pond to another using this mechanism. Pretty old but effective. Let gravity do the work. And when you see this from an airplane, it looks pretty amazing. Yeah, salt, 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 with a little bit pinkish color from the dead bacteria. And before they use it for human consumption or for other purposes, this salt is obviously harvested and cleaned several times so we can get it on our table, and it's really clean and really white. Actually, only about 3% of salt harvested here is being used for human consumption. Most of it, 97%, is used in agriculture, chemicals, and also to salt our roads in the winter when it's covered with ice. Another part of drainage system, and we can notice here that this, what we are looking at right now with this pinkish color, is lower than the pond behind this walkway, if it's a walkway, whatever it is. So gravity takes care of moving water from one pond to another pond. And the one on the right, I think, is higher than the one on the left. And this small enclosure inside is the lowest, and it has two drainage pipes. And they drain salty brine from here to another canal, and I guess it eventually goes to another place where it evaporates further. And here again we can see this mechanism Let's take a walk there. This mechanism that's being used for flow control. Obviously nothing's flowing right now, but as I mentioned earlier, or maybe I did not, it takes between 3 and 4 years to get the salt, starting with the initial seawater and ending up with rock solid salt crystals. And this is Salt Hill, I guess, before the final steps of cleaning it and packaging and so on. But there is no way for me to get in and to investigate.